Belarus is still compelled to continue existing as a Russian governorate. Now, so many years after Kostyusz Kalinowski, the noble ideals and causes he once fought for are still deeply relevant for Belarus. Even though for Ukrainians, Lithuanians, and Poles, these goals have already been successfully achieved. And it continues to remain deeply relevant today. Not just because his observations were fundamentally correct, but because true independence and genuine, lasting security in life still have to be hard-won by the Belarusian people. So far, unfortunately, Lukashenko's white spitz has been accorded significantly more fundamental rights than the actual people of Belarus. There was a significant opportunity in 2020 to change the situation, and I am confident there will be another chance, but back then, international support for Belarus was simply inadequate. And now we all feel just how much more difficult, more costly, and more dangerous things have become for everyone because of Belarus's dependence on Moscow. A dependence that is not decreasing. Operators of Russian jet-powered Shaheds are working against Ukraine, including from the territory of Belarus. Coordination for strikes is maintained from Belarusian territory. Russia is utilizing Belarus as a testing ground to intimidate and blackmail Europe and the international community with Oreshniks. The Belarusian industry is actively supporting and fueling the Russian war effort, and these deep trade ties help Putin procure the critical technological components needed to construct a direct and dangerous military threat against all of us in Europe. That is why it is absolutely vital and imperative for Europe not to lose a single nation that lives in freedom today. That is why it is critical for Europe not to waste time. That is why all of us throughout Europe must collaborate every single day for a strong Europe. The Belarusian uprising should have won in 2020 so that there would be no threats coming from there now. The nations of Europe and the entire global community should have supported the brave people who rose up, and the course of history would have unfolded differently, leading to a much safer world. In the same way, we can certainly say this about the January uprising, and about other uprisings of oppressed peoples that were not supported by their surrounding neighboring sovereign states. In the end, history ultimately tends to punish those individuals and nations who choose to remain on the sidelines. In many significant ways, the catastrophic global conflicts of the 20th century are the direct result of the profound indifference of the powerful nations in the 19th century. Russia's current war against Ukraine and other previous Russian wars against Moldova, against Chechnya, and against Georgia, all of these are the tragic consequences of a systemic indifference to the fundamental truth of our peoples. The truth that our people feel so deeply, and the indifference shown by the world's key states at the end of the Soviet era, during the decade of the 1990s, and at the beginning of the 21st century, when they placed a strategic bet on Russia, on a supposed reset with Russia, which in reality became a heavy overload for all of us. Right now, we are working diligently to ensure that such unfortunate errors do not occur ever again in the future. Now we are trying to do everything so that our joint actions are enough to truly protect Ukraine, and therefore, Europe. Poland's extensive support and assistance to Ukraine after February 24th is completely unprecedented and historic in the long and complex history of our peoples. Lithuania is with us, also at an unprecedented level. All the Baltic states are with us. Northern Europe, Germany, one of the most significant defenders of life. France, Britain, they are with us. Almost all of Central Europe is with us. Italy, Spain, and Portugal, all the countries of Southern Europe are with us, as well as Romania and Moldova. Back in the year 1863, the revolutionary insurgents could not have even begun to dream of such unity. But now this unity is actively working in their favor. The European Union exists and grows stronger every year. The United States, Canada, and Japan are with us, and we call for this unity to be 100% effective. Not halfway, not just for a few months of the year, not only until the next elections in this or that European country, but 100% effective. It is not just as much as we can possibly spare, nor is it just as much as we can comfortably manage, but it must be as much as will actually and effectively work.